Welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be reviewing what I consider to be my most favorite watch brand out there. This is Nodus, and they've sent me their Avalon 2 in bronze. And I've admired Nodus ever since I discovered them, when they had the Nodus 1, which was live and active. That is, of course, now discontinued. And with the Nodus 1, the case shape was, which is not too different to this. It just really did appeal to me. There was a lot of Seiko behind it, but in such a subtle way where, it wasn't a clear-cut homage, but they did use a lot of the things that Seiko use on the case shape. And of course, you can see there's a bit of turtle in here, maybe the earlier turtles or the slim turtle as they call it. But it still is very, very different, which is what I liked about it. If you go onto the Nodus website, you'll see all the watches they have, the Sector series, the Duality, all these awesome looking watches. And the thing with Nodus, why I think they're my favorite and what sets them apart is that their caliber of finishing, the build quality is unparalleled, right? I don't see the same in many other brands, and they definitely do stand out. Nodus is a brand which obviously the parts are manufactured elsewhere, but they are assembled in Los Angeles. But the quality of parts, the quality of fitting, the bracelets, they've now just also released a proprietary Node X clasp. They've also got like their own, I'd say this is their own proprietary watch strap even, because they've trademarked it on their website. So they are really standing out from the crowd. But the biggest problem with Nodus, I feel, if you look at the majority of their range, I'd say good 80%, 85% is the Seiko NH35. Therefore, the prices they want, £400 to £500, if not more, it's super hard to justify. But the case, bracelet, dial, hands, everything is just so high end that unfortunately they had to suffer on the movement side, which, from the way we see watches on the value end, it is super hard to justify that £400-500 price. So let's bring it down to the model that they've given me. Now, this was obviously not my first choice, but they only had the bronze Avalon. But I would have preferred the steel version. But with this bronze version, you've got a couple of colors. You've got this blue and I believe a green. The price for the bronze is $750, which is hella expensive for a bronze watch. Spec wise, the only thing you guys need to know is, aside from the bronze case, it's got a sapphire crystal loomed ceramic bezel, and the main thing is that it runs the Miyota 9015 movement. So that kind of answers the thing I said about the NS35s. However, a Miyota in a bronze case, still for $750, which is around £580 within the UK, is a very high price. I would definitely opt for the stainless steel version. The stainless steel version will set you back 550. Plus on top of that, you've got the bracelet, which is exceptional, a H-link bracelet with that Node X clasp. So you get a lot more value for money if you go for the steel, which is $700, and like I said, 550. Now, Nodus have also assessed the issue of UK stock. So WatchGecko is a official distributor for Nodus. However, the prices are not the same. Where you've got $700 value for the steel Nodus, on WatchGecko, a brand new is £700, which takes it to another bar, which is, I don't think you can justify that. £750, near enough £1,000 for one of these, no matter how much I like them. I think that's very, very difficult. And I'm saying this knowing Nodus might not want to work with me after this, but it is what it is, guys. Who am I to say something different to the people watching? Because you guys surely will say this in the comments. So with regards to this Nodus blue, let's talk a little bit about it. Let me show you the build quality. Now, the problem with bronze is, in this situation, the bronze case doesn't really show off the beautiful angles, the beautiful craftsmanship of this case. I'll attempt it, but because you guys know what bronze is, it does patina over time. It has hidden, all the different kind of lines, the polished sides, the brushing that you could have seen had it been stainless steel. What we can do only with the bronze is just actually appreciate the case shape, pay attention to those lugs, the side profile, look how soft and smooth everything is. These downturns on the case, this is very Seiko-esque. It makes the watch sit beautifully on wrist. Everything is curved nicely, but where you've got what would have been maybe strips of brushing there, polished facets. You know, it's not possible to see that on this bronze. It does definitely have a sandblasted texture. So it's a lovely case. I had this on wrist for a couple of days, and I just kept thinking, oh, I want the steel. I kept wanting the steel version to this watch. Now, the bezel itself, again, great construction. The bezel does actually use a ball bearing system, so similar to that of high-end watches like Rolex. And we're going to see how that translates into the bronze. The crown is a really nice size. I think it's around 5.5 to 6 mil. Gives you a really good grip, no issues there, and the Miyota movement is very smooth when you do wind it. The crown tube is steel because, as you know, it can't be bronze, otherwise it'll end up fusing and corroding away. Well, not corroding, but you know, patinaing, and you don't want to patina your crown shut. And the case back is steel, which has got the, I think, the King Arthur Excalibur sword on the back, because this is one of the inspirations behind it, and you've got all your information on the back. So beautifully designed watch. It's just a shame that I can't show you everything I want to show you on this Avalon, and even for myself, I would like to have it in steel. Maybe I would have bought it. Now, in terms of some of the other features on the watch, you've got a slightly domed crystal with some AR coating. You also have a chapter ring, which does color match the dial. Now, the dial for me is stunning. It's difficult to get across on camera, right? On camera, it looks like a deeper blue. There's a hue of that light blue in there, you know, similar to green, so like a sea blue. And the gradient in the sun ray does go between that darker shades of blue and the lighter shades of blue. You've got gold outlines to those hour markers, very sharp hour markers, polished to a high degree. You've got tapered date window above the 6, as you can see, color match date wheel as well. So there's a lot of thought that has gone into this. White crisp printed Nodus logo just below the 12. You've got your handset, which is chamfered and also tapered. And that seconds hand with that yellow or gold to match the gold text just above the 6. The dial is quite high quality. Now let's check out that bezel. So that bezel is rotten, stiff as anything. It's a bit of a fight, and I think the reason is, and I can't say for sure unless I remove that bezel, but I'm not going to. If and when you do get water in between that bezel, and it does oxidize, it is going to make the functionality very, very stiff. But this one does seem so, right? That it's had some water ingress in there, therefore causing the bezel a very difficult rotational issue. Now, this is a review piece, so that means it has been around to a few people, and this is very relevant to anybody who is going to buy this. So if you do look for the bronze one, know that over time, over a few weeks or months, if you actually use the watch, the bezel will possibly give you issues, and I don't think the same issue would happen on the steel version. So the lume used on this watch is BGW9. As you can see, there's no patchiness, it's thoroughly applied, everything is crisp and clear, and it is quite bright. So this is how the Avalon 2 sits on my 6.5-inch wrist. And to be fair, this watch cannot wear bad because of that Seiko S style to the case, the downturns. It's very comfortable. Dimensionally, it's 43 millimeters, 41 mil at the bezel. You've got a 13 mil thickness switch for the diver, doesn't seem out of place at all. A lug to lug of 48 millimeters, 20 mil on the lug width, and yeah, it fits superb. I had no issue wearing this on wrist. The bracelet, or the strap that they give, sorry, is more than comfortable. They give it a very technical name on their website. I won't repeat what they say. However, what it is, it's some hybrid style strap. It's slightly padded there, and the top part feels softer than FKM rubber, so it's very soft indeed, similar to like a skin texture, and then the underneath is that super supple FKM style rubber. It's also got quick release spring bars, which you know you need, and yeah, very soft, and it wears generally quite good because this is a review piece, so you can see from the holes that it's been worn by quite a lot of people, but it is holding together. Let me know your thoughts on Nodus. Have you seen them before? What's your favorite watch, and what is your experience with having Nodus watches in your collection? So as always, thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next video.